welcome back. It's been several months since we've been here. Some of us have had severe medical problems, others of us have just been drunk buggers for quite some time, which I promise to be again tonight. Right, so did anybody do any research into where we were last time we met?
Yep.
Do you want to do a recap then, Libby?
Oh, yeah. We were told about a murder of 2 victims at a mill. We went and investigated everything. They were gruesomely killed and had an arcane 7-pointed star symbol on their chests. There was a note. I had my name on it, or Maywin's name on it. It said, "You will learn to love me, desire me in time as she did. Give yourself to the pack, and it shall end. It shall all end. Signed, your lordship." And we went and investigated, and there was a smell of a decay smell on things that we kept following. And we ended up going to on our way to Bradley's barn.
Okay. Bradley's barn. I'm glad that you that you remembered that. I couldn't find it today.
Yeah, it was a note that the lordship had written to the 2 people that had been killed.
Mm-hmm.
3, Messrs. Mortwell, Haskin, Habe, or something like that.
Did I?
Come about that I need capital for. It involves property and gold. No, I am not at liberty to tell you the exact details that will make us all rich. Come to Bradley's barn on Cougar Creek tonight. We can meet there to discuss our futures.
Very good.
We tripped to Magnamar via the barn and the Sanatorium. That's what we were going to do.
Now, do you remember why you were going to the sanatorium?
The sanatorium was up here because one of the guards went insane.
Mm-hmm. And he's been taken to the sanatorium. His name was Mr Sevilla.
Yes.
And so we left it pretty much just as you guys were on the verge of leaving Sandpoint and heading off to the barn, of which I've, even though just been told its name, completely forgotten it again. Handy that. Where are we?
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Since I've never done spells before, I'm supposed to have prepared one.
Okay.
And how do you do that?
You go through your spell list, the ranger's spell list. And you're only allowed a first level spell, aren't you?
Yeah, you got them in there.
Yep, so you choose... Oh, okay, so you're talking about via the actual... via Fantasy Grounds. So you go down to your actions.
Yeah.
You turn your mode onto preparation.
Okay. And then
Okay.
you just click on one?
And then you see the little circles next to the left-hand side of them?
Yep.
If you want to know what they do, you click on the little sort of fantasy ground symbols on the right-hand side. Once you've chosen the one that you want prepared, you click on the little circle to the left. Okay, and then once that's done, so you only get one spell, you go to probably, is it combat mode? No, standard mode, and then the spell that you've chosen will be on the left hand. We'll have a little circle there showing that it can be cast.
Gotcha. Thank you.
That's okay.
And when we actually play and you want to cast a spell, the buttons down the bottom should be combat and actions.
Okay.
Righto.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so let me bring up my map. I've been bringing up the bits and pieces that Libby's been talking about on the way. So we'll go to maps. And I suppose it's surrounds, isn't it? Now, we'll share that with a lot of you. I think Dave and the Dancer was already on this map. Handouts. So, on there. Okay. So you are headed down to Bradley's Barn, which is on Cougar Creek. Cougar Creek is actually quite a reasonable distance, about 2 miles in length. And we will say that Bradley's Barn is around about on that bend. So I've just really poorly drawn a circle over it. Which is about, you have to travel down through Sandpoint, you follow the Lost Coast Road until you cross Cougar Creek, and then you'll take some farm roads, doubling back across Cougar Creek and down past that bend, which is around about a 5-mile trip. So it should take you the better part of probably half a day to get to that point. Everybody okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Okay, I'll make a couple of rolls just to see what goes on. Okay, so the trip is rather comforting. The weather itself is quite good. There's sorry, hang on, I have to mute myself while I have a coughing fit. Okay. So the weather's quite fine. It was a nice sunny day to start off with in Sandpoint, but then a bit of cloud cover came over to make sure that you weren't going to get too badly bothered by the heat. And you make your way down the coast, taking in some quite magnificent views that look over cliffs into the into the sea that leads up to Varisia. Hang on, I take another coughing fit. Followed by whiskey sip this time to hopefully bed it down. You cut across the bridge from Cougar Creek that runs just south of that mountain range there, and you make your way through farmland through trails that lead through different bits and pieces of farms, etc. You wave at the farm folk and the people tilling the land, etc., which obviously is quite a bit of help to Sandpoint, where a lot of their food actually comes from this particular area. It takes you 4 or 5 hours, but before too long you see the area that Sheriff Hemlock, I think his name is, mentioned to you, and which was in the letter. You can see that there's this derelict barn ahead of you. It doesn't appear to be terribly brilliant in what do you call them? In make. In fact, it seems to be fairly well falling apart to a degree. But you approach it, you can see it's right on the edge of the water. What are you doing?
Dismount and hobble my horse.
You do what to your horse?
Hobble it.
Hobble it.
Up.
Righto, very good.
This is on the assumption that I have a horse. Just 1 minute while I consult. Oh, I'm good. I do. Hot diggity.
Eldon Foxglove gave us all horses thanks to Mayowan's efforts in saving his life.
Well, there you go.
Okay. You hop off your horse and you hobble it to the edge of the barn or to a post nearby, a fence.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Just thinking deeply about Pathfinder and what that means.
That means your horse is well attached to a fence.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're here to have a look inside, I presume. There's nothing obvious outside. There's no sheriff tape up around the place, I presume.
Police line, do not cross. No, there is no yellow tape marking off this scene in any way, shape or form. You can give me a perception check if you wish, though, to review the area around the barn before you approach it? Okay, Thaven appears to be admiring his knotwork with his horse.
No. I was thinking, and it just occurred to me, I'm a bard. Why isn't somebody tough in front of me?
I'll do a perception check.
I'm in front of you, Barty,
Good.
David. My Barty.
So Sauron has let us know that he's having headset issues and can't hear a thing presently, but seeing perception skills decided to roll one anyway.
Oh, it's all coming back to me. We've got a cleric.
You do. Arvin and your ranger note that there has been quite a bit of traffic through this area recently, and you do spot that quite a bit of the pasture around, or you see that it seems to be some kind of grain that they're growing in the field next to the barn. You see a lot of it. You see a lot of it has actually been trampled down, and there is trails of blood that lead from the front of the barn to an area near where you've just hobbled your horses, and then it disappears as if perhaps, I think Arvin actually spots that there are wagon tracks that lead away from that area. In other words, the meat wagon's been.
Ew.
I think it was described to us by Sheriff Hemlock that there was lots of claw marks and things in the barn. Are we able to observe any of those?
Okay, well, you head to the front of the barn. That was just a perception check to look around the outside. You head to the front of the barn and you notice that its doors are widely ajar. And you can see that the inside of it actually looks and smells quite disgusting. You have a look into the barn and you can see that there appears to be brown stains from all up the sides of the walls, and you can see what appears to be a rope with leather straps that have these brown stains washed across it as well. But you have a look around and don't actually see any of these claw marks that the sheriff was talking about, because he was actually talking that those claw marks were in the bodies of the victims.
Right, and they had those arcane symbols.
That's correct. But I don't think you went and had a look at the bodies from memories.
Yeah, and the star is an arcane rune from the
We found
Thessalonian kingdom, place ruled by magicians. Possibly is that the Runelords?
Correct. The Sanatorium.
Somebody posed that question. I think they must have been James.
the Hedron, and then we went and spoke
Smart one of the group.
to the scholar, Rhoda Quink, who told us about the 7 virtues
Yeah.
and the symbols of power and various other things.
Okay, so that's just a general look around. You can see all of these brown stains, and let me just see if there's anything else particularly obvious.
Brown stains doesn't sound good.
That's what I said the other day.
Is his voice sounding correct rather than like Aquaman?
Yeah, I don't.
Give it time, Kevin. It's not going to take very long. Either that, it's a hangover from your surgery. I'm not sure which one it is yet.
Yeah, no, that's all you can see. You can see a lot of brown staining in the area, the rope hanging down from the roof that appears to have been knotted and hung quite purposefully, but the stains don't seem to really surround that area. They're up against the back wall of the barn.
All right, can I have a closer look at the rope and try and work out what that was there for?
The rope? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, the rope.
Okay. Give me a sense motive check.
Ooh. Come on, I haven't totally buffed it to the wazoo.
Oh, you are so funny. Well, hang on. 5th level is coming up. You get a feat at that level. You can go feat, skill focus, sense motive. You'll be fine. You have a quick look at the rope, trying to determine why it was placed there, but your mentalist skills are not working for you today. It was obviously there to hold someone, but you don't know for what purpose.
Yep.
We've entered the barn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed that part. We see shackles, essentially, right? So we have let Gerard have a sniff around and see what he smells out.
Sure thing.
Just try him out. How does he use his scent class ability?
It should be a perception check with his skill.
Perception. Nope, he doesn't smell anything.
Okay. When he rolls those perception checks, because of his scent ability, he gets a +8. But what he's done is he's smelt a possum, and you can see him wagging his tail as he's found a hole in the back of the barn, and he just digs under and sort of disappears in chase of this possum.
Gerard, get back here! I'll do a perception check. Has anybody done one for inside the barn yet?
No. Okay, you have a look inside the barn. You can see all of this brown smearing everywhere, and you note that it's blood, probably of humans, probably of the victims that fell foul of this lordship or whatever. But other than that, you can't really sort of you do find prints of footprints, etc. One of them was wearing a very fine riding boot, whilst the others were wearing reasonably common workman's boots, and that's about the extent of what you find.
That's not very much help.
Right. Otherwise it's a fairly not a large place. We've pretty much searched it thoroughly.
Yeah, it's not the hugest of barns, but it's really large. It's fairly large. You've had a fairly good look around. Probably holds a couple of horses and some some hay bales at the best of times. But yeah, you've had a fairly good hunt around.
So we learned nothing. That can't be true.
Is it obviously associated with any sort of dwelling, or is it more like a storage for the river or something?
You wouldn't really be able to pinpoint which farm it belongs to, and it could be like a common barn because there's no other buildings inside of it. It seems to be maybe a bit of a storage point for the fields around that maybe several of the local farms use.
Yeah.
Do we smell the same smell of decay we smelled at the mill?
It's not as bad now. Like, I mean, that initial onslaught of death is not so fresh here. The blood is soaked and dried. There is no remaining corpses to be found or anything like that, apart from the one that Gerard may find just shortly after he drags that possum out of a tree.
And the two victims at the mill, the note was to Mortwell, Haskin, Habe.
That's right.
Two of those three were killed.
Well, all three of those people were killed. They weren't the ones that were killed at the mill.
Oh, gotcha.
The mill were, yeah.
And I think what we learned was that their bodyguard escaped and he's been sent to the Sanatorium or something.
Just to cover the mill victims, They were Katrine. What's her last name?
Vendor.
Vinda, that's right. I was waiting for Matt to tell me because he slept with her sister, almost. And somebody Harker.
Harker.
Yeah, who was one of the co-owners of the mill.
Okay.
I can't remember his first name. Yes, he didn't say who they were. Crikey, so I would have thought this would be easily attainable. Harker's body. Harker has been horribly desecrated. Or maybe it was Harker Thorn. No, Iberthorn's Harker's part. Why don't I stop looking at that and I'll look at the actual book. It's nice having
Harker, I think I've got.
Benny.
Benny.
Ben.
B-A-N-Y, Harker.
Okay,
Iberthorn were the owners of the mill.
righto. Well then that sounds like it. So yeah, there you go. You've searched the thing. They're definitely not Iberthorn. Sorry, Fanny Harker or Katrine Vinder. So what do you want to do from here?
Right, well, I thought we were coming down this way because it was basically on the road to the sanatorium.
Right.
Anyway,
Heading there too.
where the bodyguard is now.
Penny. Okay, so you are basically packing up, decide that this place has got nothing further.
We found muddy footprints up around the mill.
Mm-hmm.
Did we notice any of those kind of foots?
No. Here, sort of like the footprints that you see, there are no barefooted footprints whatsoever here. There's a fine pair of riding boots and workman's boots sort of thing is the best you find.
Yeah, there were those footprints had a disgusting smell about them.
They did.
The mill.
That smell, if it existed here, is no longer here.
Okay.
Because it's been quite hot weather, anything like that would probably have dried up or been eradicated simply by that time.
Shall we head to the sanatorium, party members? And has Gerard come back?
What do you mean by that? Of course we can go to the sanatorium, but I'm not going to allow you to submit the cleric to being admitted.
Why not?
Somebody's got to heal them.
That's right. And it's not going to be me anymore.
Okay, you continue further down. Basically, the farm road tends to stick pretty close to Cougar Creek, and it goes around a long winding bend that sort of goes for about another maybe mile and a half. As you approach the sanatorium, you can see it in the distance. It sits atop a... Where are we? It sits atop a reasonable hill that sort of is around about the source of where Cougar Creek comes down from Ashen Rise. The building itself is... Where are we? It's a squat stone building that serves... which serves as the sanatorium. It seems to have 3 floors. It has a stone flag roof and is built into the limestone escarpment known as Ashen Rise. So it's actually built into the side of that mountainous type area. You see that the building itself does have windows, but they are small slit windows. No window that you spy actually is larger than 4 inches wide. But it does tell you that there are 3 layers, because you can see windows on each layer.
Approach it.
What was that, James?
Does it look inhabited as we approach it? Does it have smoke and things coming from chimneys, etc.?
There don't appear to be any chimneys per se, and it's hard to say whether it's inhabited or not. It's late afternoon as you approach, and you see that there is a lovely wooden veranda that sort of has some stairs that leads up to the ground floor, with a broad patio type area. Now, I might pop up.
Should
Well,
be.
I'm sure you believe you are.
I would say you probably are. Now,
Is there a front door?
I'm about to give you a map. I just need to enter mask mode and get rid of some of this fog and all that sort of stuff. Let's do that. That. Righto, so I'll now share this map with you and pop you on. Let's put the puppy dog over next to Libby just before you guys get to. It's a puppy dog. Oh, I don't know how to pin tokens anymore. How do I do that? Oh, I gotta right click on one of the tokens, don't I? There we go. And we are or are not role playing Arlen. Tom's character. Am I NPCing them or not?
I would say not.
Not? Okay. This is your main.
Be my view as well, unless he explicitly asked you to do so.
No, you didn't, but I was just wondering. Okay, so you can see this particular building. What I've exposed to you is basically the surrounds of it and the wooden patio veranda type area. I will make clear where the doors are.
Is it possible for the ranger to take a quick reconnoiter around the building?
That's up to you entirely.
Well,
Just
as far as I'm concerned, this is a medical facility and we're going to talk to a patient, so I'm going up to the front door.
I'm with the paladin.
I'll take a quick reconnoiter with my dog.
Okay, so Mayowen heads off to go around the building. Expose all the outer walls. The little blue sections are the sections. Okay.
Split the party. Split the party.
Damn right.
Party.
Right down the middle. All the magic users in one group and all the metal guys in the other group.
Okay. Righto. Okay, so as you start wandering off around the building, you see Arvin and Siron. Arvin? Oh yes, Arvin. Arvin and Siron move up onto the veranda. As you set foot upon the woodwork of this veranda, you hear the wood itself creaks quite heavily, especially under the weight of the paladin, making loud creaking sounds as you walk across the wood itself, as it seems to be reasonably dry and quite bendy.
I lost 14 kilos in hospital.
Right.
I don't recommend it as a method of weight loss.
I was going to say you could write a book. Diet book.
Wow. That's not a form of weight loss I will be taking up. Okay. So we will handle this by going to Maywin and Arvin. Are you quietly stalking around the outsides of this area?
Maywin and Arvin,
And Faven, yeah.
David, and Gerard. Yeah, I mean, we're not making any undue noise.
Okay. No worries. So you head off around the building now. Basically, it's going to take you about a minute or two to get around the entire building. The back of the building itself, I have no idea, because they described the building as being part of this rock structure, and then the map clearly states it's not. So we'll go with the fact that it almost backs up against the rock structure itself, but not quite. But you carefully make your way around the building. Now what I've done is basically revealed to you where all of the windows are. Each of those windows are, despite what the book says, no, I'm going to go with what the book says. They're about 4 inches wide, not the about 1.5 feet that they actually look like against a 5-foot square. So they are just slots that you can't see terribly well into.
It's like the light blue ones.
The light blue marks are where the windows are. The solid white bits, which are directly to the east of Arvin, and there's one sort of in the southern area of that veranda. There's another white. They are solid oaken doors. Okay, back to you two as they do. So you basically do that in a couple of minutes. So we'll see what happens.
Don't do anything we want.
With the holy people as they make their way up onto the veranda.
Is this the front door?
The one to your west? East, sorry. Yeah.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Yes, that appears to be the front door itself, seeing that this is the main portion of the veranda.
Well, I will approach the front door and I shall upon it loudly and say, Mr. Habe, to one of the patients.
Okay, you knock upon it loudly and announce yourself to Mr. Habe, but nobody answers the door. You stand there for about a minute, maybe knock a couple of times.
Knock a couple of times, continue to yell out.
Are there windows that I can peer through?
There is a 4-inch window slot right to the north of Arvin there. So you could move over there and have a bit of a peek through.
I peek through, I rap on the window.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
That is that dice. Okay, off you go. Yeah.
Okay. You have a good look in there and you see the lay of what appears to be some kind of entrance room. Or reception. You can see that it contains a large desk, which you can see right there in front of you. And there are 3 chairs. There are 2 that are this side of the desk of you, and there's one on the other side. You can also see that there is a cord that hangs out of a hole that runs into the southern wall, and there is a sign that hangs from that cord that says "Ring for Service."
Right. Okay. Looks like we can go into this entryway, and if we pull that, there's a cord over there. If we pull that, somebody might come and see to us. Arvin, shall we try it?
Let's open the door if we can.
You
Open the door if we can.
you lay your hand upon the door and try the latch, and it swings open.
Right.
Huzzah!
I enter in and ring for service. Where was I ring for service? The southern wall.
Okay. You move in. You see said cable, and give it a pull. And as you do, you hear the sound of several bells ringing. It's around about this time that your companions, your companions. No, it's not doing that to me.
So I'm squeezing through the window.
He does.
That's right. I'm a cleric ninja.
Move up to the door behind you.
Yes.
Okay, are you just going to stand there and wait for service?
At this stage, we've rung for service. That would sound like the polite and proper thing to do.
Indeed.
This medical facility.
Isn't it lucky that I have the book beside me, because I failed to record that information. So, that's a little bit far ahead. You're not quite at that portion of the adventure.
It's probably a free-to-air service, so I don't know how you get it.
Okay, here we go. After around about waiting for about a minute, maybe two, your companions sort of wander in behind you. You see the door to the south opens up, and a man walks in.
Oh, very good.
Do we have a picture of said man for you to look at? I hope we do. Seems to be rather furtive as he walks in to the room, and sort of moves to the other side of the desk almost instinctively, and sort of looks across at you with squinting his eyes as he looks across the group of you and seeing your companions standing outside on the deck as well. Yes. It's late in the day. We don't really accept visitors. Do you have somebody that you wish to admit?
Mr. Habe, I presume.
Yes, it's my name, Aaron Habe.
We're here on the business of Sheriff Hemlock. We're investigating the recent murders at Bradley's barn. We understand you have a patient here, recently admitted, who was a witness.
Oh, yes. Quite a disturbed individual he is too, and cannot be disturbed.
Well, I'm afraid that I'm going to have to disturb you. Talk to him immediately.
Oh, that may not actually be quite possible at this point in time. As I said, the end of the day is coming along, and the end of the day routines are being observed, and my two gentlemen orderlies are making sure that all of the inmates are getting ready for their meals. It would be a horrible disruption to their routine for them to not have their meals at the correct time.
Mr. Habe, I must impress upon you the urgency of our meeting. Sheriff Hemlock has sent us here with a necessity to investigate these murders, as there's been further deaths in Sandpoint only just yestereve, and we must now explore every avenue with the utmost urgency, and I require admission to this patient immediately.
Well, yes, but are you an expert in mental health, sir? He blinks several times at you.
I am an expert in the ways of war and violence, but also a lawful man, and it's really important that I see that the law is carried out in this regard.
Well, if in the pursuit of your lawful ways, sir, are you oblivious to the health and well-being of those that surround you?
I'm not oblivious to any individual's health, but the betterment of the community is what I'm concerned at the moment, as I've just indicated to you. Further murders
Mm.
of
Mm.
Mr. Eve.
And I can see that this weighs heavily upon you too, sir, and I feel for your position. But you see, I am the master of a sanatorium, and the minds and health of the individuals that I serve must come first and foremost to myself. Surely you would not be obtuse in going to a nearby farmstead and perhaps returning on the morrow?
Well, I'm sure, Mr. Habe, your sanatorium is not located near to any facilities. Surely you have accommodation for visitors, even for a short time, till after the evening meal, when we may address a very important witness. I'm happy to sit here and wait your convenience.
I'm afraid as soon as the sun goes down, that the doors are locked and the inmates are put to bed.
Well, I may be inside the doors when they are locked, Mr. Habe.
No, I'm afraid that
This person.
I'm afraid that we keep only the staff on the premises.
I'm just trying to remember, do we have a nice letter of introduction to Mr. Habe from Hemlock, or do we have a nice letter that confirms that we have all the powers of the constabulary upon our person presently?
You have a letter of introduction from Sheriff Hemlock. That's certainly the truth.
Is this the Habe that was in the note from the lordship, or is he related to the Habe?
No, that's Tabe.
Oh, Tabe.
Mrs. Mortwell, Hask, and Tabe, not Habe.
Just to confuse us. Well, I'm fairly clear I've given you the resolute in my need to talk to this person.
Okay, so do you hand across this letter of introduction?
Siron clearly has it and can hand it across.
Okay, you do that.
And I do that. Mr. Dr. Habe or Mr. Habe?
Yes, Dr. Habe.
Dr. Habe.
Okay, he takes the letter, he flicks it open, he reads the contents. He says, well, it is indeed good to make sure to ensure that you are on the up and up, and certainly Sheriff Hemlock has given you his blessings to be here. Would you now please, sir, give me a diplomacy check to see if I am acceptable of your place here?
Somebody could do a sense mating to see why he's trying to stall us.
Oh, let's see what mine is.
Can I aid the diplomacy?
Oh, I have a good one.
I need to make up a slight check.
Oh, Wolf does. Good thing.
Dog is not helpful. Get that dog out of here.
Wolf. Wolf. Wolf.
He's a
Looks
pup.
like a pooch.
He's a puppy.
I know.
Skills,
Damn.
diplomacy. Plus charisma modifier. Okay. So, Siren, wow, that's a fairly impressive roll there, Siren. Who was making the check and who was helping?
Check.
Okay, that gives +2, +4.
It's all about recognising the professional standing of the person that you're dealing with.
Okay, shifts.
We could admit the dog.
Not a dog.
He's a pooch.
Gotta change that picture.
Oh wow. Okay. After your negotiations, how come Gerard made a sense motive check?
He's a dog. Who knows?
He goes,
I think he's got a +1 since motive, mate.
Sorry, it makes us feel
He's got a +1 since motive.
okay, after your discussion with him and after showing him the letter from Sheriff Hemlock, he says, look, and he seems to sort of loosen up around you somewhat. You can visibly see his closed body language becoming a little bit more open towards you. And he says, look, perhaps I can have the orderlies bring Mr. Sevilla down here for a brief discussion. I can't allow you to have any more than that, though. The disruption to his routine of such a sick individual may be too much for him to handle. But if you believe that this is such an important thing for you, then who am I to stand in the way of the goodly folk of Sandpoint?
Indeed I do, Dr. Habe, and I don't mean to put you or your staff out or endanger the mental health of this particular individual, but it would be of a significant benefit if we were able to chat for him.
Okay.
Period of time.
He says, please accompany me into the room to this room, and he turns and opens the door. And you can, I'll give you a description of the room now. Right, so Aaron Hay, do I actually have I do. There we go. He comes in, and as he enters this room, he calls out the name. Where are we? What do you call out the name of? Gernak! He calls out, Gernak, to me! And you can see, coming around the corner from the south, a tiefling. Quite a large, bulky looking tiefling, dressed in seems to be some kind of daily sort of clothing, etc., but it seems to be some kind of uniform. And he comes around and says, yes, Mr. Hay. He says, well, you go and wake up, or go and find Gortus. And can you bring Mr. Sevilla down here? These fine gentlemen wish to discuss with him. Graced, sir, says Gernak. Oh, they won't get much out of him. And Mr. Habe says, yes, but apparently they wish to see that for themselves. And you see this tiefling turn and says, very well, Governor, I'll go and get it for the thickheads. And he sort of wanders off and he disappears into... he disappears down around the corner, not into the door to this thing. Yeah.
Dr. Habe, tell us, what does this man suffer presently from?
It's certainly something that I have not come across in all of my years of mental health care. He is degenerating physically at a rapid pace, and he is almost catatonic most of the time, although some visions or certain techniques that I use do bring responses from him. He will be, of course, in a straitjacket for your safety.
So you say he's physically degenerating. What does he look like now? Is he changing form?
You will see soon enough. He has become quite pallid. His skin going grey. His entire body losing the weight that it may once have had. It is quite disgusting, and a stench to him that is increasing daily, no matter how much he is scrubbed.
He hasn't started demanding to eat flesh.
He looks at you over, sort of like he looks at you very suspiciously. Says, what would make you ask such a question? Oh,
Well, in our experiences as adventurers, we've come across creatures that are dead but not dead.
oh yes,
The description you've made of him makes him sound a lot like possibly a ghoul.
I am familiar with the terminology. Perhaps, he says, we will have a break momentarily whilst your cleric returns from the dunny. Matt's internet connection's just gone down, so we'll have a 5-minute break while he gets back up and running.
Okay.
So Matt's back after his incredibly efficient internet provider decided to cut it off briefly. He came back as Aquaman, but has... Oh, hang on, no, may have returned as Aquaman, so you might get to... Yeah, you have, actually. so good luck deciphering whatever Matt says for the rest of the night. I've got a second whiskey, so good luck deciphering what I say for the rest of the night. Okay. So while we were away, several people in the group wanted to do things and ask questions, which I quickly told them to shut up about until the record button had been pressed, because I respect all the people on the internet, every single one of you that watches my stuff and doesn't abuse me. But anyway, so let's start with... I think the paladin was going to start dropping some detect evils.
I was going to detect evil on the basis of the description of Mr Sevilla that we've been given, and also that I've seen a tiefling.
Yeah, the tiefling.
Yeah, the tiefling has raised my Asimar hackles.
That's the same for me.
Okay,
So
wow.
I'm dropping detect evil.
Okay, you drop a detect evil around about now, whilst there's just you and Habe and everybody in the room. Siron glows a little bit, but you're not entirely certain what that's about.
What about the dog?
No, the dog's fine. The dog is still true neutral, as he shall always be, and whilst it has a picture of my dearly deceased Willow on it, we'll consider that true neutral lawful good. Right, so you drop it. Habe seems to be fine. Everybody else in the room seems to be okay. There is a residue of something that leaves a distaste, but no particular aura. There's just a feeling that you get.
Oh, well, I'm going to check everyone that comes back into the room.
Absolutely.
They come in.
Now, what was the other question that was asked whilst we were on a
Were there
break?
any other patients in the room with us?
Okay, there are no other patients left in the room. However, you do see that this area seems to be a workroom of sorts. It seems largely disused, but pardon me, there do appear to be there does appear to be some sort of kitchen equipment in here, so it looks like the meals, etc., must be prepared in here. But you can also see that on the benches and the tables there is a lot of disused sewing equipment, reams of cloth, bone needles, thread, and the like. That
Is there
seems.
a smell of food anywhere?
There's a reasonable smell of food. Maybe some porridge or gruel that may be being cooked in the area, and you see a pot that sort of half has a bit of steam coming off it at the bottom table, and you can see that there are 7 bowls on the table surrounding that pot.
So ask Dr. Hay, inmates does he have?
That's a very good question. He says, hang on, he says, let me mentally go over my remembrance of this area. 1, 2, 3. Currently there are 4 inmates. We recently had 6, but unfortunately 2 of them didn't make it.
I don't know whether this got cut off when my internet cut out a little while ago, but I was asking Dr. Habe what it was that the patient we're about to see has been suffering from.
He's turning into a girl.
Yeah, he doesn't say it in that manner at all. He just says that his body is degenerating quickly and his mind along with it. He is unaware of the particular malady that he has, though
Dr. Habe's unaware, or the
Yeah.
patient is unaware?
Dr. Habe's completely unaware of what the malady is, though he has been doing some specific tests in the hope that he can diagnose and save Mr. Sevilla as soon as he possibly can.
David whispers he's becoming undead. Or he might even be undead now. Is anyone willing to provide us with some blood test?
Is he here for physical maladies or purely mental maladies?
Well, he's been brought to us because his mind has suffered dearly in the whatever trauma he has been through, but his physical body seems to be mimicking his mental decay.
And who brought him here and how long ago?
The sheriff dropped him off after the gruesome discovery in the barn recently. He
Who
drove.
supports your hospital financially here?
There are people that wish to remain unnamed who have an interest in giving back to the community.
Yeah, so it's a secret lockup.
No, not by any stretch of the imagination. We are here to help the ill. I have dedicated my life to it.
Even the undead ones.
There are no dead patients within my treatment
You said you
area.
lost 2.
That is correct. They passed away. They are dead, not of the undead variety.
Oh, just not yet.
Are you a physician of the mind, a physician of the body, or a physician of both, Dr. Habe?
My particular interests are with the maladies of the mind, though I am trained, as all physicians are, in a wide variety of techniques. It's around about this time that you hear a door open up and you hear 2 voices. Come this way, Grace. That's right, we've got visitors for you. Who'd want to come and visit you? I don't know. And then around the corner you see the 2 tieflings, these 2 burly tieflings. One of them was Gortus, who you recognise from previously being in the room, and Gurnak, whose slightly larger and slightly uglier brother. And in between them they have a figure that is captured within a what do they call those things? A straitjacket. Let me show you an image of Mr. Sevilla.
Oh, he looks a little unwell.
Doesn't look good for him, does it?
John, I dare anybody to cut themselves.
Okay, and as they moving forward now, as he approaches, I've got to remember your names. Arvin, your paladin spidey sense detects no evil coming from Grace. However, it does detect the 2 tieflings are evil. So as they move him up and they firmly plant him on a seat beside you. And he sort of mumbles as he's put down, and then he says something like, too many teeth, oh, the razors. And then he raises his head for the first time perhaps and looks across the group before you. And as he does, he starts to become quite agitated as he fixes eyes on Maewyn. He said you would visit me. His lordship, the one that unmade me, said so. He has a place for you, a precious place. I'm so jealous. He has a message for you. He made me remember it. I hope I haven't forgotten. The master wouldn't approve if I forgot. Let me see. Let me see. Yes, this is it. He said that if you came to his misgivings, that if you joined his pack, he would end this harvest in your honour. Okay, anybody with knowledge local can make a check around about now.
Knowledge local.
As he collapses to the table, his body falling forward on it, and he goes, and he just groans.
I'll announce pointedly that there is nothing evil about Mr. Sevilla.
I'm going to do a heal check on him,
Righto.
just to work out what I can determine from his physical and mental presentation.
Okay. And nobody else has knowledge local, I'm taking, from the lack of rolls?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
But the creature he seems to be becoming, which form of knowledge would you roll to recognize it?
Well, it's really a heal check at this point in time.
Okay.
He does look quite pallid and disgusting, and
He's got a very long, pointy tongue. That's a bit unhuman.
it is, isn't it?
And his hairdo is just unhuman too.
Hey, don't knock the hair.
Don't knock the head.
Okay. I remember reading something about a heal check.
Is it too late for me to try and aid that heal check?
You're not doing it by yourself.
It doesn't matter, you actually hit the DC spot on. You realise, looking at Mr. Sevilla, that he must be absolutely close to death. He's 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot out of it. And that's pretty much what you get out of that heal check. Well done. Okay. So he lays down across the table and groans quite loudly. And then you see about 5 to 6 seconds later his moan rises to a shriek and he stands bolt upright. As he does, you see his arms just pull at the straitjacket and whatever wrappings that they had within it break free. I need
Some extra figures.
him. Well, the two tieflings have wandered back out of the room as the discussion came to a point, so they sort of left, grabbing up the pot and the bowls.
I'm going to attempt a lesser restoration on this one to see if that can ease whatever's going on for him.
We're going to roll initiative at this point because Grace suddenly lurches towards Maewyn. So we need a combat tracker. I need Mr. Oh God, why did I get rid of him? What did I do with him? Let's do this. Does that work? That works. And I can put him back there. And no, that'll do. Let's make him physical.
Oh, goody.
There's something Maywin's not telling us.
And there's some reason I'm not in the combat tracker.
That's probably because you weren't here last time.
I was here last time.
Okay, that's probably just because I'm an arse and got rid of you. There we go. You get to roll your initiative again. How about that?
Hooray!
I spaced out or
That's much better.
Actually, no, I'll just put in the 2 that you first rolled. And I need, where are we? Aaron Habe. He needs to go into the combat tracker too. Right.
Siron and Maywin seem to have wounds.
try the combat tracker. Oh yes.
There we go. We have solved that. At the site of Grace Sevilla,
Gerard.
at the site of Grace Sevilla breaking free of his straitjacket, you see Aaron Habe just sort of takes a 5-foot step down and cowers beside the desk there in the hopes that Grace pays him no attention. Maywin, you see his eyes are fixed on yours.
Ugh. So we feel we're all going to be attacked, correct?
Well, I don't know. He's leapt up. He's sort of
He's going
looking
at you,
directly at you, and he's ripped his arms free of the straitjacket.
I've told you that there's nothing evil about him because that's what I detected.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's just a little unwell.
And he's looking directly at me.
Correct. He addressed you directly with the message as
Yes,
well.
I remember. I remember. I just hold my action and keep looking at him.
Righto, you hold your action.
Gerard needs to be in there.
Thaven.
I didn't do nothing. Right.
Thaven do nothing?
Oh, goodness. What on earth could you do these days? I'll just back out of the room and put myself over there and just do nothing. Just watch.
Okay, you step backwards into the other
I might sing
room.
a song. That's what I'll do. I'll sing a song of courage, whatever it is, the first level, the one that inspire courage. That's it.
Okay, so I'm checking the inspire courage on all of your friends. So that's one on Arvin, one on Siron. Well, if you want to claim him as a friend, one on Maywin, and one on yourself. Are you checking this on Erin as well?
No, no one else, just the party.
Okay.
And then I will hit the done button because I remembered now.
Awesome, good work. Arvin.
So Grace does not move towards anyone yet?
Nope.
Right, well, I will move to, he's looking at Maywin, so I'll move to try and block his path to her.
Okay. You step forward to that point there to block his path to Maywin. Okay. Graced then begins to move. Let's see. Is there a way that I can... No, there's not. So 5, 10, 20. Okay, seeing his way around there blocked, he starts to move in this direction, lurching his way round. So, Maywin, at any point through there you can act, which also means that Gerard can make an attack of opportunity if you so wish. Because he's coming with you and he's raising his arms as if he's going to attack you.
Maybe he just wants to give you a hug.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Is Libby with us? Libby.
I had myself muted. I have an attack. Hello?
What on earth is that noise? That's coming from you, Matt.
Oh, my apologies. That's just a scroll wheel on my mouse.
Okay. It sounded like a pig snorting. Okay, so Libby, what's going on?
Yeah, I'll have a Gerard take the attack of opportunity.
Okay, so that's as he moves from there to there. Gerard gets an attack of opportunity.
But he's not on the combat tracker, so I can't
Oh, okay.
choose him. Oh, there we go.
We'll put Gerard at your initiative, as should be the case.
Gerard rolled a 10. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm going to stick him at, but you're both now acting at 5. So I'll put you both at 5.
Jeez.
Okay.
So I'll have him. Oh, wait. No, wait. I have to.
Bad guy's not in the tracker either, so we might not be able to target him. No.
Yeah. That's what my problem is.
Right. The Gerard in the tracker should now be linked to the Gerard on the...
Okay, I targeted him for Gerard. And then I just roll.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Gerard hits.
And he's
Okay, does a bit of damage to Graced, but Gerard also has the trip, so you'll need to make a CMB check versus Graced's CMD.
that's under combat.
Should be, yeah, that should be a
CMB.
BAB.
CMB.
BA, yeah, CMB, yeah. Okay, so it misses him.
I don't know why it rolled. Oh, I rolled Maven. Stuck it down there. Sorry, that's Maven.
Well, what's Gerard's plus?
Hang on, let me get to it. George is. It's got the same thing.
Okay, so yeah, Gerard doesn't manage to trip Graced as he moves past. Is Maywin doing anything?
Yeah, if he's coming at me like that now, I'm fixing to stab him.
Okay, he moves into location with you. You may make a Maywin stabbing maneuver.
Where's the, do we have a character in the combat table?
What's that?
Magnus' turn.
Is Graced Sevilla going to be in the combat table? There we go.
Oh, there, that makes life so much easier for me.
Sorry, I didn't realise they'd set it up so NPCs didn't automatically get seen.
And it's Maywin's turn.
Well, sort of. They're all acting at the same
All
time.
right, we're acting simultaneously.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
knew that. Ignore me, I have a brain injury.
Okay, you strike out and stab into Grace as he reaches you, and he lashes out with his fists towards Maewyn. So we target Maewyn, and he strikes out at her. Okay, Maewyn ducks under the blow as he slams into the wall just beside her head. Siron.
So he's all right. Okay. Am I within 5 feet of him?
Yes,
No?
you are.
All right, good.
He's standing directly to the north of you.
Good. I will touch him, cast him, in the hope that I might be able to ease some of what is going on for him presently.
So it's a lesser restoration you're casting on him?
Lesser restoration on him.
Sweet.
I've got an aim targeting. Good. All right. Lesser restoration. Cast. Okay. There's no. Well, I did nothing wrong.
Okay. No. That's all fine. You cast your lesser restoration. You do need to make a melee touch attack against him.
Okay.
Because he's not keen on people spouting magic and touching him.
As you know, he's not in a right mind to know whether anybody's. Well, likely to miss. Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
No,
Apparently not.
you get him. It's only his touch AC. Which is, you actually got it right on the dot. Oh, okay, so he's under the effects of something at the moment, isn't he?
Removes fatigue. Improves an exhausted condition to fatigue. Removes temporary ability damage.
Okay, yeah, just bear with me for a second. I need to work out what's going on with him. Okay. So I need to look at ghoul fever to see exactly what's going on, because I think you may have just made him a better combatant. Ghoul fever search. Oh, what a surprise! It comes under ghoul. Ghoul fever. 1d3 con and 1d3 dex damage. It only heals damage to one stat, doesn't it? And it heals 1d4 of it.
It's right. Of temporary ability damage. Doesn't restore permanent ability drain. Dispels any magical effects reducing one of these subjects' ability scores or cure one or.
Yeah, this is damage, not drain.
1d4 temporary ability damage to one of the subject's ability scores.
Okay, let me have a look at his stats. Okay, I'm going to say his dex is lower than his con, so that's what will be applied to. Roll me a d4 to tell me how much dex you've improved him by. Only the one. Okay, applied.
What we should take from this is that I tried to help him.
Absolutely. It's very noble of you. I'm quite impressed, actually. Okay, so you touch him and you seem to see the shakes that he seems to be suffering from lessen the tiniest amount possible. And by the tiniest amount possible, I mean the tiniest amount possible. Righto, hit the down button for me. Unless you're 5 foot stepping somewhere.
No, I'm staying with him. I'm determined to help this patient.
Okay, Aaron, seeing that Grace is nowhere near coming at him to attack, takes another 5 foot step behind the desk and crouches low, so that any of you actually even struggle to see him.
He's obviously chaotic evil because he's not applying to the grid.
He's certainly chaotic.
Okay. Thaven.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
I know. What a wonderful... I'm going to whip him.
So
With
you're
the
gonna,
intent of tripping him.
you're whipping him from where you are?
Yeah, I've got range.
Yeah, you do. I'm just asking whether you were stepping up or not. It's fine.
No, I couldn't whip him if I stepped up.
Okay.
So it's just a trip attack, which is I have a thing for that, and that's not very good.
Okay, yeah, that's not very good at all. In fact,
So is that 10 below his CMD?
yes, it is.
Well, I'll fall over then.
You fall over? Is it
I
have?
do. Trip
Okay,
myself.
excellent. Okay, so you now have the prone condition, which we will
Yes.
add to
Is
you.
some new dance move you're working on there, Thaven?
It was, yes. Well spotted.
Okay, Thaven waves his whip in the air and falls over in the corner of the reception. Nice work.
It got caught in my pants.
Uh-huh.
You
Sure.
should be wearing Maywin's pants.
I haven't used it for 2 months, you know.
Righto. That would be when Thaven the Dancer then presses the down button.
He would.
So it moves on to Arvin Guilt.
All right. Well, he has made an attack now on Mayowen, hasn't he?
He certainly swung a punch. Mayowen did duck neatly out of his reach, and it smashed into the wall.
Right, well, I'll move up.
He's a punk rocker. Kill him.
Well, I've sensed the good magics that my friend the priest are trying to put out, and he seems to be a person has information for us, and so I may attempt to grapple him to subdue him ultimately.
Wow.
I'll make a grapple attack on him.
Okay.
Oh, God. How pacifistic of us all.
CMB.
This is certainly not playing out how I thought it would. Okay, so you and Graced are now considered grappled as you grab the large, smelly man. Grappled for Arvin. And grappled for Graced. Okay, congrats, good work. Mayowen. See Arvin
Further.
rush up and bear hug him.
Mm. 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 Can I strike him with the hilt of my longsword in an attempt to knock him out rather than...
You can, I believe it gives you a -4 to attack.
-4?
Yeah, but he is considered grappled, so his armor class is going to be... Actually, I think you've made it better by grappling him, but anyway.
I'll try that.
Okay. Okay, you strike him.
I'm supposed to be knocking him out, not...
Yeah. It comes on as subdual damage. Okay, so 11, so I'll take that off Graced's normal damage, and I'll put it in the subdual damage. Okay. You smack him to the side of the head with your longsword. Seems to daze him, but doesn't drop him.
Okay. Does Gerard want to do? I want Gerard to do anything. I'll just tell Gerard to hold.
Okay. So Gerard holds off, and as you do, you smack Grace to the side of the head, and he lets out a whimpering yell. Why does he love you more than me? And he swings his arm that's free toward you. Mayo. And you see it cracks into Mayowen, doing 5 points of damage as he smashes into Mayowen's side. Siron.
All right. I'm going to. I'm not excluding Grace from this channel heal.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand what's going on, so I'm going to heal. I'm going to push out a channel heal and hopefully heal everybody, including Grace. See if we can work out what's going on for him. All right. Sorry, I should have targeted Maywin as well. She needs 3 heal points. Can you please take care of that, Mark?
Done.
Mr. Sevilla, please try and contain yourself. We want to help you.
I love it. Aaron does nothing but cower behind the desk. Faven.
Let's stand up.
Okay, I'll get rid of that effect from you then.
I want to know who these people are who I'm running around with.
I don't know.
Because I certainly don't know them. I get out a wand and just prepare it.
Okay,
I'm not doing anything else.
well, you can't do anything else. As you seek into your backpack and you draw out the wand ready for next turn. Arvin.
Here's a rules question for you. What
Yes.
do I need to do to progress him to be pinned?
Okay, what you first need to do is make a grapple check to ensure that you maintain that grapple. Okay, so you get you automatically do a grapple check to see if you maintain it. And then we can talk about pinning.
So roll that first.
Okay, so you manage to continue the grapple. So from now on, whenever you make grapple checks, you get a +5 circumstance bonus because you managed to maintain that grapple. Now, to pin him, okay. You simply need to give me another grapple check, and you will have him pinned. Okay, so I will apply a pinned condition to him, which goes into Grace. And essentially the pinned condition means that you've grabbed all bits and pieces of him. He cannot move and is denied his dexterity bonus, which is great because it's a negative. His armor class is reduced. He's limited to the actions that he can take. He can always attempt to free himself as via the grapple. He can take verbal and mental actions. Can't cast any spells. And there you go. And he pretty much can't do anything else.
Now that he's pinned, I'll call for people to try and restrain him properly again.
Okay. And obviously press the down button. Beautiful. Mayowen.
Alright, I'll answer that call and get my little rope.
Okay, so you're going to tie him up. Now, bear with me for a tick. I just have to work out how this works, because multiple people doing a grapple. Damage pin type. If you're grapple with multiple creatures, can attempt to grapple creatures first initiate. Okay, that doesn't help me in any way, shape or form. Okay, give me a grapple check against him or a CMB check against him as you attempt to tie him up.
A CMB check.
Yep, but you get a +2 to this roll.
Okay. +2. CMB.
Okay, Mayowen quickly draws out her rope and binds Grace Sevilla, tying him completely up. Okay, DC to escape the bonds. What's your combat maneuver bonus, Libby?
My CMB
Yeah,
+8.
+8. Right, thank you. Okay, she seems to do a fairly good job of it as well. Gerard sits eagerly wishing to get into the action, but eyes Mayowen quite carefully as she sort of tells him to hold. And Grace attempts to make a strength check to break the bonds, failing utterly. Okay, Siram.
The healing doesn't appear to have worked. The resist restoration doesn't appear to have worked.
Oh, it reduced his shaking a little.
It's true. Can I attempt another heal check at this particular point in time? I mean, so I know that he's 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot out, and I'm doing what I can to keep him alive. Is it possible to do another heal check now in order to try and work out what's actually going on for him, given that I've been working, trying to work on his condition quite carefully over the course of the past couple of seconds?
Sure, I'm a nice guy. Of course I would allow you to do that. Oh, shit. Didn't know you were going to succeed. Right. Bear with me for a tick. Okay. As you've sort of interacted with him and you've got a whiff of the stench of him and you've laid hand and he's drawn back and you see this sort of horrible malady that's come off on your hand itself, you realise that he's in the advanced stages of ghoul fever. Ghoul fever, and he is turning into an undead ghoul. You also know that to fix his condition requires magics beyond what you have in any way, shape or form.
Right. Okay. And I know that he's going to turn fairly soon.
Well, he was incredibly unwell. He's got 1 foot in the grave, so to speak. He will eventually put that 2nd foot in the grave, and when he does, it'll take a short period of time, but his body will transform into that of a ghoul, and he will hunger for the flesh of humans ever after.
All right. Okay. Is there... I don't particularly want to ease his passing by killing him now. Am I aware that his mind is such that he's not going to be able to have an intelligent conversation with us?
He is obviously suffering under this malady, but the ghoul fever doesn't really affect the brain. You think whatever is twisted and caused this mental damage is something that's another effect entirely. Probably from trauma has made him snap from what happened to him.
Okay, all right. Then I will say to him, and I don't mind if it's a diplomacy check or not, Mr. Sevilla, who has done this to you? Who is your lordship?
Good on you.
Okay, we're going to break from initiative at this point. because he is well and truly trapped. And there's no way he's getting around that. Okay, give me a diplomacy check as you attempt to get him to talk.
Oh, no. I am not haxering the system this evening.
No, but you are rolling well, which is a completely different effect.
I don't know these people.
Okay. Okay, as you say that, he rolls around and you can see that his strength is always testing the bonds that Maywin has wrapped around him. But he just looks at you in the eyes and he starts chanting, "The skin saw man is coming. The skin saw man is coming. The skin saw man is coming. His teeth and razors will strike your flesh. The skin saw man is coming." And he says that over and over again as Aaron Habe leaps up bravely from behind the table and rushes towards you, calling out the names of those two guys. Gortys and Gurnak. "Gortys, Gurnak, quickly!" And you see they weren't terribly far away. They come running around the corner and says, "Quick!" And he moves up and he says, Oh, I'm sorry. I had no idea that Grace would react in that way. We must ensure that he is returned to his cell and carefully cared for, and ensure that you are happy enough with his treatment here." He starts rubbing his hands fervently as he looks about you all nervously.
While everyone's busy, can I check that door I'm next to?
You can. Let me see. Oh wow, I did actually have it all there. I was more prepared than I thought I was. You try the handle and find it locked.
Oh. What do you pick locks with in this game? Is it stealth?
It's a disabled device.
Oh, right. That's not good. All right, we'll forget about that.
Habe will have a key.
Yeah, that's right. Abe will have a key. He's going to lead you through all of the unseen portions of this house. Pardon me. That's what I need. Please, please. And you see the two tieflings wander up and they lift Graced up by his elbows and start ushering him off towards the south where he initially came from. No. We must discuss this and make sure that everybody's okay here. I would hate to think that anything untoward is that any suffering has come because of Mr. Grace's outburst.
Well, I think the cleric should explain to him his condition.
Ask
And
him since you're showing the same symptoms.
I asked him if the other patients who recently passed away were exhibiting the same symptoms.
Oh no! Don't concern yourself with that. No. They were different circumstances, different patients, different symptoms.
I think we should
Did any of
have a
them
look at all his other patients.
No, there's no requirement for that.
It's not a requirement, it's an instruction.
He turns and he looks at the Paladin family in the eyes. He says, "Now I bent the rules here. Things turned sour. Let's not make an issue of this. How about you go your way? You've got what you can from Mr. Sevilla. I will attempt to regain what I can of his sanity, and we'll all know that Habe Sanatorium is the best place for this man."
Tell the Paladin, this guy's obviously lost his mind as well. and we need to act.
Well, I mean, my concern is this man is harbouring an undead, or a
Yes.
dead shortly.
Or it will be.
Where
Are
did
there
where
others?
did he become infected?
And are there other patients?
Yes, we need to see the other patients.
No, I distinctly think that that would be a very unwise choice.
And why is
Well,
that?
of course it is if you're an evil person.
But he's not.
He's not.
He's just hiding it very well.
He just looks to you imploringly, and he says, "I know what I'm doing here. Should this man slip under, I am not oblivious of the fact of the condition that he may be suffering from, and will take methods to ensure that that affliction will not continue."
Dr. Habe, it's not a question of what he may be suffering from. You and I both know exactly what he is suffering from. We need to know that there is not an outbreak of Ghoul's disease in your sanatorium. You would not want us going back to Sandpoint, indicating that there is an outbreak here. No doubt that would be absolutely devastating for the sanatorium's reputation. And I don't mind if that's another diplomacy check.
Okay, no, that's fine. There's no diplomacy required. He sort of just takes in a deep breath and he places his head down and he sort of just starts shaking his head and he starts walking away from you all.
They're going to attack us.
Very well. Then let me just go and ensure that the others are ready.
Sensitive. What's he about to do?
I want to follow him.
I'm going for the nearest door.
Look at all the lines appear. I love it. Okay, I'm going to pull rank on the sense motive check just quietly.
My apologies.
Because sense motive is
Oh, look, Gerard can talk.
okay.
What a clever pooch.
Well, you get nothing from that sense motive if you're going for a hunch anyway. But action, trying to gain information with sense motive generally takes at least 1 minute.
Sure. Cool.
And you could spend, blah, blah, blah.
Gerard doesn't see anything.
Okay, he starts heading off, and as soon as he reaches about there, as you all are about to follow him, he just bolts and runs.
Breaks into a sprint.
He essentially does.
Seeming two tieflings.
They wandered off with Grace some time ago whilst this conversation was going on. So
I want to go through that door as soon as I can.
I say, Gerard.
okay, hang on a tick. We will slip into initiative again in just a moment. I just have to get things.
What would it be? We tell a wolf you don't want him to attack, but you want him to grab him.
Restrain.
Restrain. There we go.
He's just, yeah. We're gonna have to talk to you.
Can
We're gonna have to.
he talk? He's got an extensive vocabulary.
We're gonna have to talk to you about training your dog in certain ways and stuff. Right, rest. Short rest. Okay, so we go there. I need a couple of things. Sorry about this. I'm just trying to find bits and pieces.
Piece of art, Libby. I've just found that art that you've thrown up in relation to Jared. I like that. Although, how you get a dog to sit there while somebody pierced its ears, I don't know.
Did you say something? I'm sorry, I had to run and feed the cat.
Oh, I love it.
What did you say?
Libby, I was complimenting you on the art that you found in relation to Jared.
Oh, thank you. He does. He needs a pair of stereo.
Well, I was about to say, I think it would be rather difficult to get a wild creature just to sit there meekly while you pierce its ear and put a ring in it. But anyway.
Okay, so what I need from you all is an initiative check.
Oh, he does have a ring. I didn't notice. Oh, you're right.
And we're gonna start from Aaron Habe once I've got all your initiative checks.
Why did that not go? Oh, man. Had a great initiative check it a little
I
more.
rolled your order or not? I think it's with me.
Effects at -2. Arvin, what's happened to you?
I'm still happy.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I need to change that. So does that mean I have to add 2 to you?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna. Everybody's given me their initiative check. We're going to start with Aaron Habe because he's the trigger. Because he rolled really shit on initiative 2. He rolled 2. So he gets to there just as you're all thinking, hang on, where's this guy going? He does a double move. So let's have a look at that. Your speed is that. And so we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40,
Yeah, if you hold
45.
the control key down when you move his icon, it'll put a distance arrow up.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was wondering. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, oops, 30, 35, 40, 45, 55. So he's going to get to there. Okay, so he disappeared. You hear the sound of a door being unlatched, and he lets out a little bit of a squawk of being scared. And as he gets away from you, you hear him calling out. What were their names again? Gortus, Gerdak, and
Hide the
Jig is
body.
up.
Gortus and Gerdak. Okay, so we go to Arvin now.
What does he say?
Gortus, Gerdak, to me! Or
What?
deal with the intruders, he calls out.
Oh,
Arvin, you'll go.
Okay, well,
I will move you. Oh, you haven't. You were one of the ones with the lines.
no.
You're normally one of the first with the lines.
Well,
You
I'll,
look like you're in a cupboard.
Who? Me?
Take my
James.
back.
Oh, James. Okay.
I will double move to there.
hey, I recognise those flat packs.
Yeah, I haven't unpacked them yet.
Okay, so Arvin goes stomping off down the main room and comes around the corner. You can see sort of like another door. It's not hanging open, so it's probably not the door that you heard opened. Thaven.
He's trying to go through the door there.
Okay.
If it's locked, I shall physically...
Oh, that door, righto.
Yeah.
Okay. Bear with me for a second, because I need to reposition some stuff in here. There and there. And let me have a look at that. Okay, you swing open the door. It is not locked. And you see it opens up into a small bedroom. Certainly appears lived in. The bed itself is messed up and looks slept in recently. But apart from that, it's just a room with a bed in it.
Okay, well, I'll spend the rest of my action peering in there to see if there's anything I should see. Like
Hey.
a girl hiding in the corner.
Okay, you look for a girl in the corner.
Or under the bed.
Okay. So you step in and have a good look under. Give me a perception check.
Girls.
And have a quick look underneath and around, but see nobody in here hiding or otherwise.
And then I yell out, clear!
Okay. Gorgeous hears the voice and goes, that's where I should probably put Grace back into the picture. So he's now there. Gorgeous will right, move to there. Okay, Sauron, your action.
All right. And wherever Arvin is running, I am following. So, Sir Clancelot. Moving to there. And I am drawing this point in time. So I wouldn't have had it out on me at any previous point in time. I'm drawing my Masterwork Scimitar.
Okay. You draw that out as you move down to where Sir Clancelot is.
And I say to Arvin, why do they always have to run?
Okay. Okay. Gernak will act at the same time.
And I'll go like this. Oh,
Uh,
it's already moved it on.
I've already done it. Okay, so Gernak will hold his action and act at the same time as Graced. So I'll move that back up and it becomes Gerard's turn.
So he's going to go his full 50 feet after the guy.
Okay, you tell him to chase, and he attempts to do so, but still doesn't come into contact with the gentleman. That brings us around to Mayawin's go, who does a cool little whee, let's go there and back again.
She'll move her 30.
Right. 30 feet. And draw a bow on the way, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Okay. Gernak and Graced. 13, 15, 25. Okay.
He's not on the board anymore.
No, he's been moved along by Gernak and
The orderlies.
Gortys, yeah. And now it's back to Aaron. 10, 20, 30, 35, So that's 55. You'll move to there. Oh god. Stupid movement systems. I mean, totally awesome system. Arvin.
All right. So we're all just clunking along slowly after this dude.
Well, some people are clunking along slowly.
Well, no one's gone past me.
Oh, that
Apart from
I see Gerard ahead of you.
All right. So I'm presuming that he went round this corner. So do I find this door open or?
You do find it sort of hanging half open, and you see it goes up some stairs.
Well, I'll charge a further 10 feet in.
Okay, 10, no, you'll only make 5 feet of that because the other is difficult terrain.
Okay.
So you get prepared to start heading up the stairs. Give me a perception check just as you get there.
Perception.
Okay. As you look to the top of the stairs, you see a figure just almost ready to turn down the stairs. Seems to have reddish skin and black hair.
It's not a figure I've seen before.
Well, it's too hard to tell, but you're fairly certain it may be one of the Tiefling brothers.
Said
Okay.
red hair and what?
Red skin and black hair.
Gotcha.
And then Arvin presses the down button
This is the down button.
to open.
What? That's me. Okay. We run down to the next door and check it out.
And righto, you do that and open it, and you see essentially another room very similar to the room that you just passed, except the bed's in a different corner. You can't move an extra 5 because it took you 15 to get to the door and 5 feet of movement to open it. Oh, hang on, you got 30, don't you? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll shut up
I'm not
now.
a tiny little clever guy. Oh,
Okay.
well, there's definitely nothing under this bed.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You have a quick look around, everything seems to be fine. Do you yell out clear again?
Yeah, true, clear, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Why has my turn sequence gone off on me? Somebody's on hold, aren't they?
No?
No?
You clicked the down button, didn't you?
I did, but I don't have a marker anymore.
I know it disappeared from mine too.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but alright. You see this figure steps up and it has a crossbow that raises and aims at Arvin. And he lets off a bolt. The crossbow bolt bounces off Arvin's
Armor?
armor, yeah. Smashes into the wall. Sauron.
Archer.
You see it's the figure of Gortys, by the way.
Double moving.
Did you yell out to us and tell us anything?
To there.
Okay, you double move up behind your paladin companion.
Do I see the archer?
Not from where you are, no.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Clicking the down button.
Clicking the down button. Yes, there it is.
Gerard.
Back.
Did the Arvin yell out what he saw or anything? Do you have any idea?
I called out Archer.
You did call out Archer. Okay, so I sent Gerard after Aaron Habe.
Okay. 5, 10,
So I guess it's-
15, 25, 35, 45. Gerard is not going to be able to get to him.
You can move 50.
Yeah, I know, but he's moving up difficult terrain, which means
Okay.
costs him double per space. I will put him where he gets to. By the way, you will now see somewhere over on the right hand side of your disappearing area
Ah.
a space opening up.
Um,
And Gerard will reach there. I will also make Gortys visible. So there he is there, standing
This
at the
dog's
top.
amazing. Not only can he talk, but he's telepathic.
Is he?
He's transferring information invisibly to all of us.
Well, I probably should have shown that because of Arvin's move, but I'm pretty shitty.
Yeah, see, he's not telepathic. That's why he couldn't do it.
Anyway, Gerard is done. Maywan.
so I do know there was an archer up there.
Well, you've heard maybe. Give me a perception check actually, because you're some distance away. There's a bit of yelling going on. Okay, yes, you heard the word archer from Arvin.
Okay, so I'm gonna move down. A full move and call out to Gerard to attack Archer.
Okay. And press the down button.
Oh, I was sitting there pressing the little. It went away again. That little symbol next to it.
Anyway, Ganak and Graced. Okay.
It could have been Arvin calling out to you, Archer, get up here, sort of thing.
Both work.
It would have been in the tone of his voice.
Ah.
It would sound more respectful and loving if he would call me.
So get your pants here.
35, 40, 45, 50,
Chorus.
55, 60. Righto. So that's that all happened. Arvin, your action again.
All right. So am I right in saying this guy's what, about 20 feet up the stairs?
No, the two squares of stairs ahead of you are directly behind where Gerard is. So it's oh well, yes, and then in that case he's 25 feet away from you. Yes.
All right. Well, I'll take a javelin from the quiver on my back and hurl it at him.
Okay. I'm going to give him partial cover.
Athletic.
Do not fumble my wolves up there.
So to do that, when you make your check, go into the modifiers and place partial cover.
Target him first.
As an option.
Partial cover. He's now red. And
Wow. Yes.
Nice work.
All right, Paladin.
Okay, you hurl that javelin up there, pinning him directly into the rib cage, piercing his vital organs.
That gives you an automatic
And
entry into the Commonwealth Games.
And he slumps to the ground, dead.
right, so given I drew and threw, that probably is my move.
You can draw as a move action, so if you wanted to move up the stairs, that's fine.
Terrain, I can move to there.
You can. Okay. Thaven, rhythm is a dancer.
Next door.
Okay, you swing it open, and this one is somewhat different to the previous rooms. You peer into a dark room that is dusty and is filled with tailoring supplies, including bolts of plain cloth and boxes filled with bric-a-brac.
No, I'll put a light spell in there to be able to see properly and
Okay.
just have a look around the room.
Okay, give me a quick perception check. Take it you're still looking for anybody that might be a threat.
Yes. Perception. I knew there was a perception somewhere. Aha! I'm on the ball this time.
Okay, and it appears to be simply an empty room filled with some foodstuffs and some sewing equipment. Righto. You yell out
Yeah.
clear and press the down button to Siron.
All right. Am I aware that Arvin has just shot and potentially killed something?
Well, you saw as Ava moved up the stairway, he drew a javelin through something and you hear a loud thump from above.
All right. I before moving up as a free action, say to all of them, it appears we've got company this way, and then move up behind Arvin.
Okay.
Oh, you're such a big girl.
Righto, Gerard.
I'll call for Gerard to hold.
Okay, is he holding on the stairs? Gerard simply stops in the middle of the stairwell.
Well, he could just move up to the flat spot, but I can't tell him that.
Okay, fair enough. Righto, Gerard presses down and it becomes Maywin's turn.
Maywin goes.
Okay, Maywin twists around and becomes part of the conga line up the stairs. Fair enough. I should stick boiling acid traps right there. Okay, so Gurnak now has done that. So it goes 10, 20, 25, 30. Grace does this. And Aaron goes 19, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And then Delia. Arvin.
Has not heard you.
James.
I will keep going up the stairs.
Okay, you maneuver your way around Gerard.
20 feet, however far I can go.
20 feet takes you to the top of the stairwell. But no further. Or you're about to break onto the top of the stairwell. You can see inside here that it's just appears to be a reasonably empty room, but the door ahead of you, or just around the corner from you, has iron bands wrapped around it, which is completely different to all of the other oaken doors that you've seen in this area. The corpse of what's his name? Gerst Nuts, or whatever his name was. Gertus. Why is his name so hard to remember? Gortus lays directly in front of him.
Okay. Well,
You could spend it. You could.
retrieve my javelin if it's there.
Okay, so you spend your standard action drawing up your javelin out of the body of Gortus. Thaven the dancer runs around the corner.
And sings a song for everyone.
Okay, begins to inspire courage. Inspire courage. There it is. So, on to Thaven. On to Siren. On to Gerard, who's apparently a music lover. On to Mayowen. And on to Arvin. Righto. Very well done. Siren.
I move up as close as I can, unless if I can squeeze into the same square as the dog, I do, but I presume that I cannot.
You can't. Can't in the same space. Yeah.
All right, so if I go the full 20 feet,
20, then you would be on Gerard. You'd need to move 40.
okay,
Oh.
right, well, I will
Th-
move. Sorry.
35 at least.
All right. Well, I will move. Well, I think I'm moving at half speed. Presumably, so it was difficult terrain.
Yes.
So I'm only moving at half speed,
Yes.
which means I'm only moving at 30 at best.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that I'm moving up behind Gerard because I can't get past him.
But if you double moved, you could get up and pass.
That would mean I double move. It would mean moving 30 feet, and I thought you said it was 35 feet to get past Gerard.
Do you only have 15-foot movement?
No, it's 35 feet with the doubling already in it.
See, to double move, I'd be moving. Yeah, no, but I'd be moving 60, but at half speed because it's difficult terrain, so only 30. And I thought you said Gerard was effectively 35 feet in front of me.
Yeah, but you 30, 5, 10. Like, I mean, it takes you 10 feet to move the first 5 foot,
Yep.
20 foot to move the second 5 foot, 30 foot to end up where Arvin is, and then if you double moved, you could move anywhere inside that little room up the top.
All right, then. I'll double move to here.
He already moved you, so tell me where that is again.
That's exactly where I was clicking.
Okay, good. So you move up the stairs to it. That's fine.
Yep. Is the door closed?
The door is closed. You step over a corpse too to get there. Just close.
That's right.
Uh,
It was evil.
Gerard.
Tiefling.
Yes.
He just waits for me.
Okay, he waits on the stairs. Railwin.
I'll just move up. Well, Davin's back there by himself.
I'm sorry.
I'll just hang.
You're just gonna hold there?
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, you hear the latch being toyed with, or the lock in this door ahead of you being toyed with, and then it swings open. Standing in the doorway is the figure of Gurnak. Let me open up the next room. Let's make him appear. He did have a short sword ready. And let's add a yelp as he sees Gortys laying on the ground and just lashes out at you, Siron.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm doing my best Shaggy impression and saying, it wasn't me.
Okay, he lashes out at you and may half believe you as he misses you.
Excellent.
Rex does that, Aaron does that, and we're back to Arvin.
You should have pointed at the dog.
Alright, I'll step up drawing my long sword. And this guy. Target him. And
You straddle the corpse of his brother,
that's right.
drawing your longsword.
Why is that? Anyway. Right, and I will just attack him with my longsword.
Okay.
And I shall miss.
6.
You shall do. Thaven.
Next door.
Swing that door open, and you see in here that this room contains a few oiled raincoats that hang off the walls off pegs, and a door to the outer area that you imagine meets up to the section of the whatever. And then you move up behind Maywin, still singing your thong.
Singing.
Singing.
Singing his song.
Right. Okay. I lash out at the tiefling in front of me with the scimitar. I haven't properly targeted, so
Okay. That is a hit.
oh, very good. Oh, crit. 18. Oh, yeah, no, that's the natural roll of an 18. Okay, so I'm doing this much damage.
Okay, you deal 6 damage to Gurnak, who rocks back with your blow.
Time to talk, son.
Okay. Clicking the down button.
Yeah, now?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Gerard.
I'll tell him to attack.
Okay, so it calls Gerard to attack. That's 10, 15. He can get to there with 20 feet worth of movement. So it's all good.
Yeah. And so he's going to attack
Hey,
Gurnak.
Okay, he gnashes his teeth and leaps up at Gurnak. He's overwhelmed at the skill, and Gerard comes away with his esophagus in his teeth.
well, I guess he's not talking.
Apparently not. Okay, and Gerard goes on to Maywin.
And I gotta move my map back. I'll go as far as I can. What is it?
Okay, so you can move essentially 40 feet, so it's a double move up to there. You're right behind Arvin.
Okay.
Okay, that and that. We're back to Arvin.
Okay, so. Oh, now I'll fix that. Alright, so this door is open.
It is.
Now I've got another dead thick critter.
There is a key ring sitting inside the door as well.
Okay, sorry.
A key ring with several keys dangling from the door.
Oh, well, we'll grab the keys as we go in.
Okay, you move into that room.
Just put me in a convenient spot.
Okay. You move to where you want to go in there. It's all good. Okay, you move to the central part of the room. You see that this appears to be some form of common room. There are balls and various other equipment that you would expect to see in a common room, laying around the floor in various portions of here. Pardon me. And you also see that all the way around there appear to be small rooms, perhaps cells, that are locked up from this area. The door to the north, however, is hanging open, and you can see that there appears to be a landing, maybe similar to a set of stairs that may go up.
Okay.
Okay, so on to Thaven. 15, 25, 35, 45. You can get 55 feet worth of movement, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
So we will move you to that point there. Siron,
All right, I'll move. Into there.
okay,
And grab the key ring.
righto. You grasp the keys, drawing them with you. Gerard does what? Libby?
Gerard,
Just have him follow you.
he'll follow me when I move. That's what we'll do.
Okay, so we'll change his initiative to the same as Maewyn. Make it Maewyn's turn. So, Maewyn. Settle, yeah, okay.
Right to that square right there.
I'm just going to move you to there. Where's Gerard moving next to you?
No, he'd be in front of me.
Be in front? There?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's where we're going to leave it for the evening as you round yourselves up into the common room looking for your foes. Well, Aaron Habe and whatever has happened with Grace Sevilla. So you rally yourself on the second floor. Okay, so essentially what we're going to try and do from now, I can't do weekly. Weekly will kill me. Fortnightly I can do.
Cool.
So we'll set our next one for a fortnight from now, and hope to goodness that nobody runs into any problems and whatnot. And we can all meet up again.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okie dokie.
Thank you very much. I'm going to say goodbye to our internet friends now. Bye bye, internet friends.
Bye.